Welcome back to What's in the Box. Oh, another quick one for Clash of Steel. This is for the ISU-130 Soviet Assault Gun Battery. So this is for the Soviet faction. It's 5 tanks this time from Gale Force Nine and Battlefront Group. So you have 3 options in this package. So it sets up a 5 miniature, but you can make them of the 130, the 122, or the 152 variants. So you have those options with that. This model does come in the starter set for Operation Unthinkable with, I think it's the Americans versus Soviets starter set. So in this box you get, I already opened it up, so you get 10 sprues, 5 of each, so they create 5 models. So you get the bases and the tracks and the odds ends that go on the sides, along with the hull and other items and the cannons and whatnot in the other one. So you get 5 of each. What else do you get in the box? You get the instructions, which are very simple. A bubble wrap. Some people like that ASMR stuff. I always like to do that. They do it so make sure it doesn't go wiggle around in the box, obviously. So you get the instructions, how to build for 1 page with the variants and what you need to build for the assault gun. You get a little, at this time, it's the Operation Unthinkable code, which guess what? At this point in time, are no longer useful. You don't get crap for it, so anybody gets them now, you don't need it. And there's nothing else in that box. You don't get any decals, you don't get any crew or anything extra, which sucks, because that's one thing I do have. I've done a few other videos that you may see on this, that at least on the non-starter set so far I've opened, you don't get anything but the miniatures, which is okay. That's what it is. If that's what it is, it's what it is. But I'm used to Flames of War, Team Yankee. You get the crew, so you can put the crew in your hatch, and you get some decals sometimes. Not having the unit cards, that's okay if they're in the starter set, because you need the starter set to play the game anyways initially with the rules. That makes sense. But if we're out of decals, then where do you get them? You have to buy another starter set, because they definitely don't sell decals separately for Clash of Steel itself. But anyways, so far I haven't seen any in any of the just separate unit sets. So I'm going to build these 5. I'm going to figure out which ones I'm going to build of the 3 variants, and then I'll go from there. And I'll come back with the built miniatures and give you my thoughts on building the miniatures and how they came together and if they're easy or hard. So far, the ones I've built have been really easy to build. And let's go from there. All right, I'm done with the build. Back in time travel. So I've built all 5 of the miniatures. The ones I picked to do was the IS-130s with the 130 millimeter cannon, because this is the newer cannon. When you look at the old Battlefront versions of the ISUs, it had the 122 and the 152, and they added on the 130. So these ones have an AT of 18, and a higher points for 5 of them is 15 points, and 10 points for each of these for 5. I think AT 12 or 13 and 14 for the 122. I think it's 70 centimeters. I remember the centimeters easier than the inches. And this was 90 centimeters at AT-18. That's why I got those for 5 of them. And then the 152s are, I think, AT-13 auto firepower, so you don't have to roll that firepower once you hit, but AT of 12 and 50 centimeters shorter range, much shorter range for the 152s. So, and I got 5 more ISUs in the starter set, and I'll be building that and doing that unboxing soon enough in the future. So for my Soviet faction, these are going to be one of my platoons. So like I said, I built 5. These are the leftover pieces down here, 2 barrels and a lot of other odds and ends and different hatches. I built one with open hatch right here. I know it's for the leader position. I put everything else on it, and also on leader I put the train tracks on the front, which they do not have listed in the instructions here where to put that as an option. They have the fuel tanks as an optional, but none of the crates or the tank tracks. And then I looked at the old Flames of War instructions. That's how I look at things myself. If it's not in our instructions on newer stuff I know they built before, I go back to the old instructions, see what they had, because they usually do a lot better instructions on the old digital on the web Flames of War instructions. So you can look and see that they have a better where to put certain things, just for a refresher. Or I actually go online and see, hey, what's the historical version of that? Where do they put those things? Where do you see that? So that's what I did. I did put a couple of the crates as well, like on this one. Put the crates on it, you know. So I do enjoy the build. Went well. It was easy to do. 5 of them got done in about an hour, taking my time. I did not paint them. I obviously don't have decals. And will I paint these? I will eventually. But to play the game, you don't need to paint them. If I'm playing against my wife or whoever, I can just set up the table and play. We don't need them to be painted to have fun and play as they're there. Technically, you don't even need to build them. We use proxies, but you know, I love the game. Is fun. It's just easy game to play. It's only armor and a little different, you know, alternate history, you know, fiction history, I guess. But anyways, I was gonna say, when I put these together, I use the extra thin plastic cement from MMA, and it works very well. I've used it on everything from Legion, all my plastic stuff. I use it. It works so well because you don't get that crap everywhere if you try to use a thicker glue. It paints on like a good paintbrush. It does a great job. The only thing with it, it does eat the cement, you know, plastic cement, you know, and you put the brush back in the thing, so you'll pick up colors. I don't know if you can see it very much. It's got a little green tint to it, so it picks up that plastic a little bit. But I think it helps bond things too as well. If that plastic dries and it bonds to everything else, since you're technically fusing the plastic together. So yeah, that was the build of the ISU's platoon by Gale Force 9 Battlefront Group. And like I said, I do like their miniatures. I do like their 15mm line. I just don't like that they don't give you decals. I think that's the biggest thing I don't like. I don't mind not having unit cards and all that other stuff. I think there's two things. The crew, I'd love to have a crew to be able to put in the open hatches. And 2, I'd love to have decals. Because they do give you decals in the starter set. I think I have one here. And that's what you get in the starter set. That's all you get for the decals. So if you run out of decals, you're gonna have to go source them from somewhere, or buy another starter set. Which, is that worth it? I don't know. Starter sets are kind of inexpensive for the plastic you get, $75 at this point in time, which is probably gonna go up because they're saying that they're raising prices by 10, 15%, whatever it is. So they'll probably go up to $100 a starter set, because this is like 40, 50 bucks right now, which will go up too. So starter sets are well worth the price that you get, but do you really need to keep buying all that when you don't need all that plastic? Anyways, all right. This is Devin from Got Wargaming. You guys keep on wargaming out there. Leave a comment and subscribe to my video if you like it, and I will catch you on the next one.